Thanks for joining us today. We are really excited about the show we have lined up for you today. We got a great show today. Great show.
A fantastic show.
Most of you probably know the popular band Coldplay has just released their newest album, Viva La Vida.
That's right, Roy. And it just so happens that Viva La Vida is the theme to this year's Mission Possible. An exciting week where kids come and live at the church. We go out and do mission projects, serve our community. Fantastic week. So, Roy?
Well, we thought, what would be the best way to really kick off this year's Mission Possible? So we gave Chris Martin a call, lead singer of Coldplay, and he agreed to come on the show this afternoon. So we're really excited to have Chris here. Chris, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Chris, having heard a little bit about Mission Possible and kind of what we do with Mission Possible, what would you say is the most attractive thing about Mission Possible?
Everything is planned meticulously according to biblical proportion.
Now, Chris, can we call you Chris?
Uh-huh.
Great. When you really break it down, what do you think the value of a Mission Possible is?
It makes you realize what your priorities are, you know? Going bowling isn't such a big deal for me anymore.
So you a pretty big-time bowler then?
In a professional manner.
Well, no, not like in a professional manner, but like recreationally, just for fun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what's your highest score?
17, 20,
What's your lowest score?
maybe 7 or 6.
You ever considered using bumpers at all?
So anyway, let's move on. Chris, when did you start getting involved in music?
I think I was probably 10 or 11, and I had a great teacher called Stephen.
I mean, Steven Berger?
Yeah.
Our Stephen Berger?
Uh-huh.
Stephen Edward Berger?
Yeah.
The intern of the youth group at Covenant Community Church, Stephen Berger.
Yeah.
About 5'8", $135.
Son of Frank and Sherry Berger, Stephen Berger.
Yeah.
Kind of ruggedly handsome, but kind of with a baby face.
Glamorous.
Roman nose, Greek chin, Stephen Berger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks pretty good in a toga.
I don't know if I can say that.
I'm with you there.
Well, yeah, I got you on that one. But seriously, getting back on point. At Mission Possible, most of the time we have to pack a sack lunch, and sometimes we're not real happy with what we get in our sack. So if you weren't happy with what you got in your sack lunch, what would you do?
Like going back to the medieval system of bartering. If I've got 2 bananas, you give me an orange, or 3 plums, or whatever you want to give me.
Anyway, a part of Mission Possible, and really any event that we do, is, we got to have some guidelines, some regulations, just to kind of keep the week flowing smoothly, kind of keep kids out of trouble, and keep things from getting broken and such. So we got to implement some guidelines, and we may even do some new ones this year. What's your kind of take on discipline and kind of enforcing some rules for the week?
I don't mind being told this is bad and this is bad, as long as someone's got a positive idea about how you could improve.
I think that's a pretty good attitude.
Now, Chris, when you get to Mission Possible, it's a lot different living conditions, a lot different environment than what most people are used to. The girls all stay together in one building, the guys all stay together in another building. And so personal hygiene is kind of a big deal. What are your thoughts on that?
Still Earth, and everyone still, has to shave, even some of the girls.
Well, yeah, that's true, I guess.
That's a good point. Now, Chris, you're a clean guy. What's your secret to personal hygiene?
Pantene Pro V. Do you have that here?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Well, it's the best shampoo.
I agree with that.
Shifting gears a little bit, traditionally at Mission Possible, kind of on the last night, we'll do something kind of a little more focused, kind of on our hearts or whatever, and a lot of times we've done communion. And just kind of in that context of communion, what's your take on transubstantiation?
Well, life has got complicated.
Don't worry about it. Well, let's kind of change directions again. This year at Mission Possible, we have John Berger bringing a group down from Kansas to help out. We have Dan Blosser coming up from Dallas to speak to us. And let me tell you, Chris, there is excitement in the air. And Chris, how do you explain the excitement for something like this?
Well, that's the $100 billion question if you work for Warner Brothers, which I might do. Nobody knows where it comes from. It's like being a fisherman, you know, you can have all the rods and all the, you know, jackets, but you can't really make the fish come to you. I suppose you can.
Well, Chris, we've had the opportunity to talk about a lot of different aspects of Mission Possible, but just in your opinion, how would you compare Mission Possible to the other camps and retreats you've been involved in?
It is a million times greater.
Well, there you have it, kids. Chris Martin, Mission Possible, a million times greater than any other camp or retreat you can be involved in.
That's right. Well, we hope you can be a part July 27th through the 31st.
Well, Chris, we really appreciate you coming on the show. Say hi to Gwen and the kids for me.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, it's Roy. Good night, everybody.